She don't play for the Fever yet. She want to get down with the get down. She see what's going on.
In today's pro sports world, two kinds of players often try to link themselves to a once-in-a-generation star. First, there's the smart veteran, the teammate who sees a real shot at a title and is willing to give up personal numbers to protect and support the franchise centerpiece. Then there's the opportunist, the player drawn to soaring TV ratings, packed arenas, and viral attention, hoping to tap into that spotlight for personal gain. Right now, the Indiana Fever sit at the center of that storm. Caitlin Clark has sparked a surge of interest so strong that players across the league, from starters to bench pieces, are looking for a path to Indiana. As the Fever front office works to build a true long-term contender around Clark, a noticeable trend has popped up online. Some players are openly campaigning to join the team, posting photos in Fever gear, and signaling their desire to be part of Clark's orbit. These aren't formal trade demands, just public moves meant to shape the conversation. Indiana does need defensive help, but adding the wrong personality could upset team chemistry and hurt a system built around Clark's strengths. All of this is unfolding with a possible league-wide lockout hanging over the WNBA. And above it all stands Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, whose league has deep ties to the WNBA structure and future. The Fever's free agency period has become intense and highly public. A recent video making the round shows a well-known 6'3" defensive forward, previously connected to the Valkyries, openly signaling interest in Indiana by wearing team merchandise in public. It wasn't an official request, just a clear attempt to align herself with the Clark-driven spotlight. That's what happens when one player's impact becomes so powerful that the rest of the league feels the pull.
Dominoes, I don't know what it is. Scrabble, I don't know what it is. But what she got on? She got on Indiana Fever merch. She don't play for the Fever yet. She want to get down with the get down. She see what's going on.
She clearly sees the opportunity and wants in. From a pure basketball standpoint, this is the kind of player the Indiana Fever truly need. At 6'3" and 185 pounds, she brings rim protection, the ability to guard multiple positions, and the strength to set hard screens. In simple terms, she's a defensive enforcer. History shows that great scorers often need that kind of partner. Michael Jordan had Charles Oakley and Dennis Rodman to handle the physical battles. Stephen Curry has Draymond Green doing the dirty work and anchoring the defense. Caitlin Clark dealt with heavy contact and constant pressure throughout her rookie season. Adding a strong, fearless defender who can protect her and bring toughness would make sense. But size and stats are only part of the decision. The bigger issue is mindset. The Fever's front office has to understand why a player wants to come to Indianapolis. Is she ready to rebound, defend, and support Clark? Or is she chasing attention and a bigger share of the spotlight? Talent matters. Fit matters more. One wrong personality in the locker room can damage chemistry and stall progress. For Indiana, the real challenge isn't just adding muscle. It's making sure everyone is pulling in the same direction.
We're here and robbing us. We don't need no more of that, okay? We damn sure don't need no more Natasha Howard coming over here talking about winning MVP, trying to bring the ball up the court, not giving it to Caitlin Clark.
Indiana doesn't need another situation where a newcomer disrupts the system. The fear is bringing in someone who joins the league's most efficient, fast-paced offense and suddenly wants to run the show, pushing to handle the ball, chase MVP talk, and steer plays away from Caitlin Clark. When a player who has usually been a second or third option tries to take over, the structure can fall apart. Spacing tightens. The transition game slows down. The quick, high-scoring rhythm that makes the Indiana Fever dangerous can turn into slow, isolation-heavy possessions. That shift can lead to losses and tension inside the locker room. Any player who wants to join Indiana has to understand the role. This team is built around Clark. If someone is willing to do the dirty work, hit open shots, defend hard, protect their star teammate like Sophie Cunningham has done in her role, then it makes sense. But if a free agent is focused on personal stats and awards first, that's a risk the front office can't afford. Still, even building the perfect roster won't matter if the league itself faces a shutdown. A potential collective bargaining agreement dispute is hanging over everything. The players' union is pushing for major changes, larger shares of revenue, guaranteed housing, and significantly higher salary caps. Some believe last season's ratings boost gives them leverage. Ownership sees it differently. And above them sits the broader influence of the National Basketball Association. When Adam Silver finally addressed the negotiations, it was clear he was speaking as a business leader overseeing a global enterprise. His focus is financial sustainability, not emotion. That reality suggests the players may not have as much leverage as they think, and the outcome of these talks could shape the league's future in a major way.
Perspectives on the current state of the CBA negotiations. He thinks it's unfortunate, as he said, where they are right now. He thinks they're getting close to the 11th hour. He has not yet set a drop-dead deadline date, and he said he's not ready.
Adam Silver recently said talks may be nearing the final stretch, but he has not set a firm deadline. In practical terms, that means he isn't stepping in to force a quick resolution. The NBA appears willing to let negotiations between WNBA ownership and the players' union play out on their own timeline. There's no public sign that the league plans to cover major financial losses or dramatically shift its financial model just to speed up a deal. Some fans and commentators treat the WNBA as if it operates fully on its own. In reality, the league has deep financial and structural ties to the National Basketball Association. That connection shapes the balance of power. When it comes to long-term stability, the key decisions don't rest on emotion or headlines. They depend on ownership, league leadership, and the broader business structure that supports women's professional basketball.
People out here are a little bit confused or have lost the plot that the NBA really does call a lot of the shots, and Adam Silver could have and should have been more prevalent and vocal of a role than he has.
The National Basketball Association has major influence over the WNBA's direction. The NBA owns half of the league, helps negotiate national TV deals, and provides much of the business structure behind the scenes. That means Adam Silver carries significant weight in how things unfold. Reports and public comments have made one thing clear: large revenue-sharing proposals, such as a 50-50 split, or even 30% of gross revenue, face serious financial hurdles. The WNBA has historically operated with tight margins, and league leadership has signaled that those numbers may not be workable under the current model. Silver also oversees a global NBA operation that includes multi-billion-dollar media agreements, international growth plans, and ongoing labor relations on the men's side. From a business standpoint, his priority is stability across the entire organization. There's little indication that the NBA plans to absorb major additional losses to settle WNBA negotiations quickly. If talks break down, owners could choose a lockout. That would put financial pressure on players, especially if games are canceled. In labor disputes, leverage often comes down to who can sustain losses longer. What makes the moment striking is the contrast. While negotiations remain uncertain, many players are publicly expressing interest in joining the Indiana Fever to play alongside Caitlin Clark, hoping to benefit from the surge in attention around her. At the same time, the broader business future of the league is still being decided behind closed doors. At the same time, some players are trying to align themselves with Caitlin Clark and the spotlight around the Indiana Fever. The union is pushing hard in labor talks. Critics argue that if those demands overshoot what the league can realistically support, a lockout could erase the very momentum everyone wants to benefit from. The core issue is sustainability. It's one thing to enjoy a surge in ratings and attendance. It's another to build a long-term business model that keeps teams operating without heavy losses. That tension sits at the center of the current dispute. On roster moves asterisk. If Indiana is considering adding tough defensive players, the decision should come down to fit and mindset. A strong defender who accepts a clear role and supports the team structure can be valuable. But if a player is more focused on personal attention than team success, that risk is real. Chemistry matters, especially for a team built around one primary engine. On Adam Silver's role asterisk. Adam Silver represents the broader interests of the National Basketball Association, which owns a significant stake in the WNBA. His responsibility is financial stability across the entire system. There's no clear evidence he is trying to teach a lesson. More likely, he's focused on keeping the numbers workable and avoiding commitments that don't align with the league's long-term economics. Labor disputes often look dramatic from the outside. In reality, they usually end in compromise once both sides fully understand their leverage and limits. In the end, the biggest question isn't about social media or headlines. It's whether ownership and players can find a deal that protects growth while keeping the business viable. That balance, not emotion, will decide what happens next.